In today's world of hybrid work, IT departments are facing this perfect storm, right? It's all about complexity, rising costs, and a whole lot of new risks. So today, we're going to break down a solution that's designed to tackle that chaos head on. Omnissa Horizon Cloud running on Microsoft Azure. So let's just start with a really direct question for all the IT pros out there. As your workforce spreads out, working from home, the office, wherever, is your current setup a source of strength for your company, or is it becoming a source of stress? That's really the core problem we're diving into. And let's be honest, the old way of doing things, it just wasn't built for this new reality. Trying to manage traditional IT for a team that's all over the map is, well, it's incredibly complex, it can get wildly expensive, and it opens up a ton of new security holes. It's this tricky balancing act that so many are struggling with right now. But what if there was a better way? A way to deliver desktops and apps that's way more flexible, way more secure, and a whole lot more efficient. Well, that's exactly where Omnissa Horizon Cloud comes into the picture. It offers a totally cloud-native answer to this big challenge. So what is this thing, really? At its heart, it's what we call Desktop as a Service, or DAS. Basically, it takes the Windows desktops and the applications your team needs to do their jobs, and it delivers them virtually to any device by tapping into the massive power and scale of Microsoft Azure. Okay, that all sounds great on paper, but how does it actually work? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the cloud architecture, because this is really where the magic happens. This is the secret sauce. The heart and soul of this whole system is something called the Cloud Native Control Plane. The best way to think of it is like the air traffic control for your entire desktop environment. But here's the key. Instead of needing a bunch of bulky, expensive hardware in your own data center, you get this super smart, centralized hub that lives in the cloud. It manages everything: user connections, desktop images, analytics, the whole shebang, without you having to maintain any of that physical gear. So this architecture really boils the whole process down to 3 simple steps. First, you manage everything from that one central control plane in the cloud. Super easy. Second, the service pushes out the virtual desktops and apps directly into your own Microsoft Azure subscription. And that's a really important point. You still have control. And third, your users can connect securely from pretty much any device, anywhere on the planet. All right, so the tech is pretty cool, but what does it actually mean for your business? Why should you care? Let's talk about the 2 things that always matter most to any IT department: saving money and keeping things secure. This slide right here really hits the nail on the head. With the old-school traditional VDI, you're just bogged down by all this complex on-prem hardware, massive upfront costs, and it's a real nightmare when you need to scale up or down. Horizon on Azure just flips that whole model on its head. That cloud control plane lets you use on-demand, pay-as-you-go capacity, so you can spin up or spin down resources with incredible speed and flexibility. And when we say scale, we really mean it. This thing can support up to 5,000 users inside just a single Azure subscription. To put that in perspective, that is enterprise-level scale that you can get on demand without the months and months of planning and buying hardware that you used to need. Now, on the security side of things, it's just as impressive. The service plugs right into Microsoft Entra ID for managing all your users. And this opens the door for all the modern security essentials, like single sign-on, which means your users have one less password to forget. And you can enforce what are called conditional access policies, which is a fancy way of making sure only the right people get access from the right places under the right conditions. Okay, but check this out. Here is a feature that is a real game changer for any company that's already invested in VDI on premises. This isn't some all-or-nothing deal. It's actually designed for the hybrid world that, let's face it, most of us actually live in. This looks like a simple statement, but the implications are huge. Just think about that. One single control plane to manage 2 completely different environments. For any IT admin who is tired of juggling a dozen different tools and interfaces, it's a massive simplification of your daily operations. So what this means in practice is you can use that same cloud control plane to manage your shiny new cloud desktops on Azure and your existing on-premises Horizon 8 deployments that you've had for years. It brings your entire desktop virtualization world, both the old and the new, together under a single pane of glass. Whew, okay, we've covered a lot of ground here, from the nuts and bolts of the architecture to the big benefits. So let's zoom out and just summarize the big picture, the main reasons why this kind of approach is getting so much attention. If you boil it all down, it really comes to 3 major wins. First, you get to streamline your IT operations.
You're replacing all these different tools with one centralized cloud-based management system. Second, you can confidently and, more importantly, securely support your remote and hybrid teams, no matter where they are. And third, you get to optimize your costs, shifting from those huge capital expenses to a much more flexible, on-demand operational model.
And all of this leaves us with one final big thought. With solutions like this that are so powerful, that can so seamlessly blend the control you want on-prem with the flexibility of the cloud, are we looking at the beginning of the end for traditional on-premise infrastructure as we know it? It's a big question and definitely one worth thinking about.